So I'm just finishing up an awesome day at Bonnie Golf Course, the Imagine Golf event.
So as I was in the middle of that introduction for this video, I bumped into someone I knew at the golf course, so I had to turn off the recording and start chatting. One of my new partners in the business, Imagine Golf. They're an Australian-based business community for business owners doing over $2 million plus in revenue. We were able to get out, play some golf, and then there was also a keynote on the CGT impact from the recent budget. And I think now more than ever, especially with AI, it's so important to go out and meet people in person to be able to grow your business. Now, I've worked in the B2B space for 15 plus years, so I've been to a hell of a lot of events. So I thought in this video, I'd give you 3 tips that I've picked up over the years to be able to take those conversations and those business cards and turn them into potential opportunity. Because let's face it, you're probably one of those people, if you're watching this video right now, who goes to an event, has a great connection with someone, picks up their business card, and then that business card becomes an ornament in your desk drawer. And by the way, at the end of this, if you're an Australian business, there's a $25,000 giveaway that I'm going to talk about. But let's get stuck in. Tip number 1 is Recce the Room. So a lot of these business events, they will have either sponsors or they'll have a table list that is in public viewing, if not before, at least at the event. So when I say Recce the Room, what I mean is go online beforehand, see who the sponsors are of the event, and also look at the tables and see which businesses are relevant to you, which tables they're at. And when you're mingling, make sure you mingle over near those tables, because ultimately you want to create a scenario where you can organically and naturally bump into people, but you want to be able to control that in some way, shape, or form. This is especially true because if you're in a room where there's a lot of different types of B2B businesses, you may be naturally situated far away from someone who might be a great potential contact for you. So that mingling stage is really important, and that's why it's really important to get to these events early if you can. Tip number 2 is capture the conversation. So in the scenario where you've went over, you've mingled, you've naturally bumped into someone who could be a great connection for your business, you want to be able to capture something memorable, which you can refer them to later on. So I used to do this quite a lot. I used to work in B2B publishing back in the day. So we used to do a lot of events for B2B professionals like lawyers, accountants, financial planners, and there would be these awards nights. And one of the most effective ways that our team found to really be able to foster those relationships post-event is to go up to the media wall. There's usually a media wall at these types of events, and just take a quick photograph. Everyone loves getting a photograph taken. And when you have that photograph, you then have something really personal, a moment that you both shared, captured digitally, which you can send to them after the fact. It's a really useful tool for making sure that you can have a really organic conversation after the event. And the third tip is deplatform them from the event. So what I mean by deplatform them is similarly if you're using LinkedIn or YouTube, the whole idea is when you're having conversations digitally, you want to be able to deplatform them from whatever platform you're on and into your email inbox in some way, shape, or form. Now, the common go-to is one of 2 things. It's, hey, do you have a business card? And do you have LinkedIn? They're the 2 most common things that you'll find in an event that people will either go, they'll do one of these, hey, have you got a card? Have you got a card? Or they'll go, oh, what's your LinkedIn? Now, I'm going to handle both of these separately because the strategy that you use for each is really important. So with the business cards, this is vitally important. You can use technology, but let's face it, a lot of people who watch my videos aren't that into technology. So one thing I would say, if someone gives you a business card, you need to action it on the day. So this might sound unhinged, but stay with me. If I get someone's business card and I know that I want to speak to them, I know in my brain, if I end up with loads of business cards, that I'll go home and none of them are going to get messaged. So what I'll do, if I say to someone, I'll give you a shout tomorrow, I'll go into the bathroom, because you need the bathroom at some point during the night, and I'll get their email address, I'll write them a quick note, and I'll schedule that email to go out the next morning. So that way in my head, I've been like, right, here's a person I really want to speak to, done. I have now actioned catching up with them, and therefore you know that it's done. If you don't do that in the moment, I guarantee you, you're not going to do it ever, because most people never follow through with what they say they're going to do. They mean it in the moment. They really mean it in the moment. You mean it in the moment, but life gets in the way. So if you can action things as quickly as possible, that is awesome. LinkedIn, what I recommend you to do is get them to connect with you and ask them to send you a note. Just say, yeah, LinkedIn with me there, and just send me a note so I make sure I've got it in my inbox to reply to you. So those two tips are sort of the most casual way to do it. My personal preference, and again, this might sound a little bit unhinged, but I'm a type A person, right? If you were to disc profile me, I would be a DI in terms of my profile. And I often meet and gel well with other people who are like me. And our brains work exactly the same way. If in the moment we don't action the thing we need to do, it's highly likely that we don't get to that for days, if at all. So what I say is, look, if they give me a business card, I'll say, look, would you mind if I just pop this in my diary tomorrow as a reminder? And you can actually put in, and that most people, and you just explain to them, look, I don't know about you, but if I collect a business card and I don't action it, I'll never action it. I really want to speak to you. So do you mind if I pop in a little thing in the diary just for tomorrow? I'll put in a calendar invite so I know to give you a call. And then you put in the location, their phone number, you put in the calendar invite, their email, and then just reminder Tommy to call. When you do that, you've essentially just locked in your follow-up conversation. It's even better if you rapport really well, and some people are open to just straight up booking the meeting. But that's a strategy that works particularly well if you're speaking to another type A person. Don't do this for absolutely everyone though. So you kind of have to gauge the personality. If they're a bit more shy and reserved, you don't want to be suggesting things that seem too committal. And that can seem quite committal and very type A dominant, to be honest. But it's something to keep in your locker, because the main thing here is that when you go to an event and you say you're going to follow up with someone, that you actually follow up with someone. So those strategies that I've talked about in this section, save them. And by the way, if you like this type of content around how to grow your business, both in person and digitally in B2B, smash the like button and give me a subscribe. And the third tip seems kind of obvious. You can combine some of the previous steps, like the photograph that you took with the people, and create a LinkedIn post and tag them in it. Everyone likes a good tag on LinkedIn in the B2B professional world. So when you can take what you're doing in real life and be able to make it multiply digitally, that is how you can make the most out of in-person events and help grow your B2B business. Now, I mentioned at the start of the video, there's a 25 grand giveaway. So imagine we put together this awesome initiative where they're giving away their top tier membership, their black membership, to one lucky business. So they're going to get, not only will they get sponsorships of different events, they'll have a whole 12 months to be able to foster relationships, many of which have turned into 7-figure plus deals for some of the members. And they'll also get visibility on the Imagine YouTube, the Imagine newsletter. So it's a huge opportunity. So what I'm going to do, usually in these videos, I'm tagging my own stuff. But what I'm going to do is put a link to the giveaway. It's an application form. So if you're an Australian-based B2B business, you like golf, or someone in your team likes golf, fill out that form to enter into the competition. And there's a selection panel who will look at all of the applications and decide which business is most deserving of this opportunity. It's been a hard year for a lot of businesses in Australia. So I think Raj and Ryan, the CEO, and all of our team have done an awesome job pulling this together, which is why I'm so passionate about making sure as many eyeballs as possible get on that application form. Now, if you're in the mindset of growing your B2B business opportunities and relationships, there's a way that you can do it digitally as well on LinkedIn without having to post any photographs at all. And I'll put a link to that video now. I'll see you there.